All right, you came in here to fix your lag slash latency slash response issues slash ping. Yes, all those things are a factor on why you're watching this video. And I'm going to break down a lot and help you. By the end of this video, I promise you're going to have a better experience and you will start heading in the right direction. There's plenty of steps and tips and tricks that I'm going to give. But before I do, I want to explain a couple of things that might be a little complex and not exactly why you're here, but it's going to help you in the long run so you can understand overall how things work. First and foremost, NBA 2K24 at the start of every year, just like previous years, the servers aren't always the best and they have a hard time depending on the mode. For example, going into the city, it's a big city, there's a lot going on and it can get a little bit out of hand in there. With that in mind, you got to pay attention to what I'm about to give you. I'm going to offer you some things. We're not going to do a lot of visuals today. I'm going to keep it strictly conversation and get into some important factors, and there's a lot to get into. So first and foremost, the server issues aren't the only issue. Your internet speed, ping, the settings you have on your settings, there's so many different things that are the factors, and we're gonna get into it, all of it. First and foremost, I'm going to showcase this right here. This is kind of like the imaginary version, the servers for 2K. Then you have the internet, and then it has to go through your modem, and then it has to go into your console or system if you're on PC. So that's how that works, right? But there's a lot of factors within that you don't have an idea about probably, right? So you're just like, hey, dude, I don't got nothing to do with that. Can't help me. I can't fix that. Yes, you can't, but there's certain things you can do. For example, for number one, connecting with the wire. That is going to stop a lot of issues. For example, you have internet flying in the air into your consoles. That's not going to help when you're trying to get as good responsiveness and good non-laggy servers. So having that connected is critical. The reason for this, and this is where those conversations of different things that are going on, there's a certain amount of lag, latency, a certain amount of things going on. And I'm going to explain it real quickly before we get into the actual tips and break it all the way down. Latency is referring to the data that travels from your device to the server, which you're watching here. So everything you do has to go back to the server, and the server has to respond. All right. So the connection of the quality of your internet is going to determine whether or not you have ping. Now, what is ping? Ping is a signal sent out between the player, its command, and then the server responding to it. So when you talk about latency, lag, sometimes you're saying lag, but it's really latency. Now, guess what? Lag is a result to high ping and high latency. When you're saying you're lagging, you're right for the most part. And there's ways to minimize it and to try to stop it from being that bad. And we're going to get into it. Okay. So there's a lot of factors. And I just wanted to start off with this boring picture, get it out the way. And then now we can get into a couple of things. First and foremost, yes, connect with the wire. It's going to help you. It doesn't mean that your internet is good. Sorry to say it to you. A lot of us don't have good internet. And the internet is a part of the problem. It's not 2K's job to get you good internet. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to provide yourself that. And if you can't, that's okay, because I still got a lot of stuff that we can do to help you go forward. Now, let's say you can't buy the wire. It's only going to be $10 or something so you can get the right Ethernet. But if you can't, you're going Wi-Fi. Okay, guess what? Turn off all the Wi-Fi on every device. You know how you have your cell phone on your Wi-Fi? Turn that off when you're playing 2K. That's going to allow you to make it so that it's a direct Wi-Fi for your system and the game's the priority. You have 3 different things. There's a Netflix account that you guys are watching movies on. There's your cell phone, you know, YouTube is on there. And then you have your other console also with it on right now. You don't need to have all those things. That's going to stop. That's going to hurt you. Okay. Secondly, plugging in your controller is for PlayStation 5. There are benefits to it, but you want to go into the settings, and I'm going to start showcasing it here. It doesn't have to be for PlayStation 5. I'm just going to show it to you guys on the PlayStation 5. In here, when I go to settings, I can go down and make the Bluetooth turn off, and this is going to help me drastically for my experience. Okay, the point of it is to make my control as best as possible for me. Okay, so I want to turn that off in there, and then I can get into other things. For example, my Bluetooth is off. As you can see, I'm playing strictly on the wired version of the game. Do I want to turn it on? No, I'm going to keep it off. And then there's plenty of other things that you can do to enhance your experience that's just console based. For example, storage. I already did this for the most part. I cleaned out my media, deleted a bunch of stuff. And then my game files, games I'm not playing right now, I can delete them. Why is this a factor? Because it's slowing down your computer. You can also reboot your computer without doing anything special by just unplugging it and keeping it off for a couple of minutes. And that'll clear the cache a little bit, is what they've said before. Now, with that in mind, there are internet things you can do going in here. And this is going a little speedy, guys, but I'm going to just show you. You go in here, you go into your advanced settings, you go down to DNS. I'm not going to do it right now, but in there, look up the DNS that's best for you. Amazon usually is the best one, 888, and then the secondary one is 8844. All right, look it up online before you do it. Don't just listen to me. The point is that's going to help you drastically. I'm trying to speed through some of this because there's a lot kind of address and speak on. So there's that, and that's going to help you big time if you connect to the right spot. You can take your system, whether it's a PlayStation or Xbox, and reset the actual system with clearing the cache and redoing the database to delete any actual corrupt files. That's what you do with that. That's going to clear it up and make it more responsive for you. Okay. Then another thing that I did, because 2K has done this in the past, where you have too many friends on your list, I'm starting to delete friends. Guess what? I started deleting friends, a lot of them, and I have more. I'm going to keep deleting them. Sorry about that, guys, but that's the way we go. Why? Because if servers have crashed in the past because of it. Okay. That's a fact. And they fixed it later on, but it took a couple, maybe a month or two. I don't even remember which one it was, but that's happened. Okay. Then there's another factor on top of that, your messages. For example, I deleted a lot of messages. I went to my PlayStation 4 and I went in here and I started deleting, and I have only a few messages now, under 20, because I deleted them all recently, literally all of them. Okay. So that cleared up. My PlayStation is a little more responsive. There's a trick that the pro players do for the PlayStation 5. They go to their dashboard, and while they're in the middle of a game, they'll go into their dashboard and then they'll get back in the game. They'll do that because it supposedly refreshes your console in that way. All right. So that's another factor. Another one that you can do is a monitor that has low response time. The monitor I'm using, 0 response time, so it's good to go. You can get one with under 1 millisecond or something like that, 0.5 type of response time, and that's way more than enough for you and your friends. Another factor that I like to do every time before I play, I go into do not disturb, and then we're good to go. I don't have to go and do that there. Go into the settings and turn my notifications completely off and just say I don't want to deal with anybody, as you can see right here. That's going to be helpful as well. There's another thing that slows down your internet on the PlayStation 5, and I believe the Xbox has this as well. Your captures. All right, this can capture everything. It can capture your trophies. For example, I have mine off, but normally this is on all trophies. You don't want that, because what's happening is uploading it. See this auto upload? Turn it off. That's another factor. It's uploading stuff while you're playing without even knowing it. It's uploading the pictures and videos. You don't want that on your screen. You want to stop. Okay. That's important. Those are just small, quick breakdowns. Okay. To teach you on a few things. Now, I want to get back to the core elements of everything that I'm saying. Understand, I'm talking about actual technology, which is your monitor, your internet wired, resetting your internet, your monitor. I mean, your modem. I'm sorry about that. Your modem, resetting your modem, having a monitor with low latency. All that stuff has nothing to do with 2K servers. Those things are you, right? Plugging in your controller. That's you. That's your latency, your issue that you can actually fix. 2K will continue to improve the servers. As we know, within the month or so, everything becomes a lot more stable. By the end of the year, the game is very stable. Of course, you wish it was like that from the start, but that's how this works. And I was trying to explain it earlier. The latency, the ping, the lag, all of it is connected together, but are different words. And you shouldn't just assume it's all the same thing, because it's not. It's a part of the picture. So how do I eliminate one factor or the other? So trying to do those things are going to help. Now, if you have your console in your room and the modem is all the way halfway through the giant house that you have in the other room down in the basement or something, don't expect good gameplay from any video game. It's not going to happen. So that's where you got to understand there's certain factors that are your responsibility that you can work on and figure out as you go forward. Okay, that's important to note. And then secondly, from there, all of these little things that I implemented, and I'll repeat them very quickly, and I probably should have had a list so I can show you guys visually. This isn't the best visual overall, but let's display this quick breakdown. First and foremost, the servers from 2K you cannot do anything about, but what you can do is have good, strong internet. So upgrading the internet to a certain height where your upload and download is very strong, it's going to allow for more reliable, non-laggy experiences in video games. Secondly, resetting the modem and connecting it through a wire when you do turn it back in, it's going to be more stable. From there, on your console, as we talked about, going through things like your controller, which I showed you how to do on the PlayStation 5. You're going to go into these settings, turn off Bluetooth, and focus on the wired control only. Turn off any type of extra notifications and things that are just adding on to making your PlayStation run overload. You don't want that. And then your internet, you can go into the settings and then basically configure that as much as you need until your heart's content. There's different ways to do it. For example, the DNS can help you have faster internet, it can help you have more stable internet. That type of thing is just as critical. Okay, the dashboarding in between games supposedly refreshes. I don't know if that's true. That's what pro players have told me. I don't know if they're trolling me, but hey, it is what it is. If you have some money, for $100 you can get a low latency monitor instead of playing on a 60-inch TV or whatever TV you're using. It's going to be a big difference in that alone. Those right there are humongous factors on how to improve your experience. Now, this doesn't mean everything is resolved. 2K still has its servers and it still has a lot of work to do. But if you do all that, I can guarantee you that you're going to have a better experience. And then you can come back and say, yo, you're right, man. Thank you so much. It's helped a lot. All right. And then from there, everybody's happy. Everybody wins. Everybody enjoys 2K. Apologies if the video was boring. I didn't have any visuals up. I wanted to make this video and put it out as fast as possible for all those that have been telling me about how they've been having issues, myself included. And I've been working on doing those things I said, making sure everything's on point. All right. So I'll see y'all on the court. Peace.